Well, I was in San Francisco. I was, full-blown hippie, and and somebody gave me a book that said, "If you're sick, it's your fault."
Mm.
And I had a 6 month old, and I was like, "Well, F you, I mean, it wasn't my fault when I was 6 months old. Give me a break." And but there was something in it that rang true, which is more like it's your responsibility, no one else's responsibility. And if you don't take responsibility, then that's it. So, and what the book was prescribing, it was a macrobiotic book, and it was saying, 10-day rice diet, just rice, brown rice and tea, like a wheat green tea. And so that's what I did for 10 days. And for the first time in my life, I was asymptomatic and didn't have to take any medicine. I was taking
Mm.
medicine like crazy, aminophylline, ephedrine, 3 times more than was allowed, recommended, just to keep breathing. And I was like, wait a minute. All this time, I've been taking all these drugs and all this other stuff, and 10 days on rice. It just boggled my mind that something so simple could be so effective, and why do we know about it? And what about all the other 14 million asthmatics? And just like the whole thing. So what I did then is, because I was on essentially a food fast, rice essentially, then I started eating other things, and I actually didn't like the idea of not being able to go back to milkshakes and hamburgers and fast junk food and stuff like that. Enjoyed it a lot, and so I started adding one thing at a time, and seeing how I felt, my breathing, my lungs, everything, and from beer to apple juice, from cottage cheese to a beef patty and so forth. And I could really feel the impact that food had. uh, is different than fasting, like where you have nothing, so anything you take in is going to be kind of a shock to the system in a way. But so I was food fasting, so I was fine. I had enough protein and carbs and stuff, and I just became convinced that, wow, if I can figure this out, a lot of other people will figure it out. I'm slow, not fast, but this is so obvious. And then I started to try to buy food in San Francisco, and I had to go to the Quaker store and the Seventh-day Adventist store and Chinatown and Japantown and Lebanese town. And it's like, I mean, you couldn't get all the food in one store, and the farmer's market for the organic vegetables. And I said, this is silly. And then I went to Boston, yeah, to study with Michio Kushi, and they had a food co-op, which once a month, people come in and order stuff and they'd share it, and then it was in the basement on Newbury Street, and I took it over and made a store of it, and that became Erewhon.